Hey everybody, this is Bobby. Welcome back to the Everyday World. This is probably actually going to end up, or has ended up, as maybe part 2 of a walk down to Flushing Avenue, although maybe it's just got folded in. I don't know. It's not the beginning of Flushing Avenue is my point, so who knows where this will ultimately end up. But we don't actually really need to worry very much about it. We can instead just look at these really nice, appealingly presented and designed drinks. Like, look at that. It's a plum sparkling Americano. That looks delicious. Wow. Okay. I'm happy to see that, Western or American coffee shops and so forth have kind of responded to the challenge from, like the Taiwanese Bob and Boba shops and the other places that 5-10 years ago were just absolutely destroying American coffee shops on presentation. And now it's much closer. So better for everybody. In terms of, if you're somebody for everybody who enjoys looking at beautiful drinks, which I think is everybody. Is there anybody who's like, I prefer my drinks to be ugly? I understand a plain, straightforward presentation and preference for that, but that hasn't gone away. You could always just order, a double Americano. I've started running again after my long layoff from injury, and it's been going okay. I'm a little cautious. I'm a little wary of expressing too much optimism, but my left hip has often been bothering me mildly to moderately on my runs in the last 3 or 4 weeks, but it's nothing compared to what I was experiencing in May and June when running was just impossible. I mean, I could have run if I had to do it to save my life, yes, but at times it felt like, no, I couldn't. It would be like crossing the street, and I would be like, if a car came really fast right now and I had to run to get out of the way, I'm not sure I could force my legs to do that. That sucked. Still don't really know what it was. If it was like overtraining after the marathon, or if the energy gels that I was taking during the marathon somehow contributed. Like, for example, by allowing me to run well past the point when my body actually needed me to stop to avoid injury. Seems possible, because I'm actually not somebody who generally uses gels. That was the first time when I used multiple gels at a one run. And I did take a caffeine gel on mile like 22 or 23, and then I felt like fresher than I should have the last few miles. So I don't know. This is a cool bookstore. It's got the word books in many different languages. And what do they got? Well, you know, I mean, this is, you know, the heart of hipster Brooklyn. So they got critical theory, they got first editions of some, I don't know, novels by obscure but critically acclaimed diaspora authors, etc. Turning. I don't understand really how a place like that stays in business in 2024. Maybe they just have a sweet deal on the space from 30 or 40 years ago when they started the shop. They don't need a lot of income. I guess that's if you're, you know, presumably the owners are like bookworms, even if they're also business people, because if you're a business person and you don't like books, you know, you're not going to start an independent bookstore. It's not a sensible business decision. So, when you're a bookworm, your hobbies tend to be cheap. We got a Gnostic tattoo shop, tattoos for all. I would think it goes without saying that a tattoo shop is willing to tattoo all customers. But apparently they did not feel that was the case. Yeah, so we're on Flushing Avenue, which runs kind of northeast, southwest, through north, central, northeast Brooklyn. And then in the other direction too, towards downtown and over to Grand Army Plaza and whatnot. So yeah, this is definitely actually maybe even going to be part 3 of a walk down if I start from the west, which I will, because this is the way I'm walking. Anyway, whatever, man. You know, you're watching this, you've never been to Brooklyn, so you're just like, it's all the same to me. I have no idea where any of this is anyway. So a lot of murals, a lot of like various degrees of authorized in this area. Obviously, you can see that probably the original large wall mural was commissioned by the city in the hopes of raising property values with certain market segments, and then local youths expressed their resentment of this strategy by applying graffiti on top. Understandable. I'm actually not gonna cross because I'm extremely autistic. If I crossed, I would briefly not be on Flushing Avenue. I would be on Thames Street, and this is a walk down of Flushing Avenue, you see. Wow. I sure love walking around Brooklyn. There's always some just appealing urban decay to observe. Well, it's not just decay, you know, it's a combination of vibrant activity diverse and colorful, and then some romantic decay also applied as a improving veneer on top. Yeah, these wholesaler billboards are just a whole trip. Metro Mart wholesalers. We got the woohootextiles.com. We dress the white man for cheap is their slogan. We make him weak, forget how to dress himself. Long game. It is wise. A good strategy of war, because it conquers without bloodshed. And actually really mostly just by providing valuable goods and services. So it's kind of a win-win for everybody involved, except for, you know, American Piggly Wiggly magnates. And the, of course, the sweatshop workers who are basically doing slave labor, but and all the people who are suffering as a consequence of the waste and climate destruction generated by these industrial trade practices. So, you know, it's not like totally victimless, but probably still better than all-out trench warfare with carpet bombing and tactical nukes and, you know, the kind of thing that we may very possibly see between the United States and China in the coming century. We'll see, hopefully not. AI-controlled drones, robot dog soldiers with 8 legs, and robot spiders, you know. We already got the biological warfare with the COVID. Boop, 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 boop. It is not difficult to make plausible or even likely predictions about the future. It's much more difficult to influence it to any degree. Or to, you know, to even know what combination of actions would produce the desired influence. Effect is too strong a word. You're never going to be able to achieve a specific concrete effect. You might be able to shift the trajectory of certain developments ever so slightly. I don't know why people think history is a long arc. Somebody said it and it sounded good, but I don't. What reason is there to believe that it's actually continuous and/or curvilinear, or if not literally curvilinear, then whatever that kind of movement through space evokes and correlates to in the realm of human events. Seems like it's probably more jiggity-jaggedy than that. if there's even a pattern at all. A line is a pattern, right? Or a curve. But all of these things do not matter. Right, we're close to, what is the train station here? Maybe Knickerbocker L stop. It's a stop where there are a lot of clubs. Kirby is big mad, but he still loves the city. And I guess that's construction Mario? I don't know what's happening here. Mario doesn't build, Mario removes blockages. It's basically, you know, like a DevOps engineer, cardiovascular surgeon, and a plumber are the same job, just applied to organic, virtual, and physical systems. And this, I suppose, the legacy of maybe, I don't know what, maybe a harmful influence of religious thought in human culture or something, but you can see that the physical application is less respected and less well compensated. Well, in this case, there's some reasonable path to understanding. Maybe that doesn't require casting aspersions. What is this, like a meat Tomio Commercial and Trading Corporation with the cat ears and the sexy lingerie, and it's like mega faded? What is happening, man? I have to take a picture of that for the book. Fuck the gram, man. It's all about the book. It's the OG. What did I say? Oh yeah, well, I guess with cardiovascular surgeons, you know, people are willing to pay a great premium for anything that helps them live longer and eat more fried chicken before dying. And then with DevOps crew seem to get paid somewhat less than builders, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me, because everything collapses without good DevOps. You can't build anything beyond a certain scale unless your DevOps is good quality. Only like personal projects, prototypes, toys, tools with a niche audience, internal tools, things like that. If you try to build anything at scale to target, I don't know, even tens of thousands of users, never mind hundreds of thousands of millions, you need proper DevOps engineers, and you should compensate them in line with the way that you compensate, you know, other, software engineers, executives, product people. Everybody contributes a roughly equivalent amount to the success of a software company. What I was gonna say. Oh yeah, so, and then plumbers, I guess people are just like, they do make good money, actually. So I don't know if they even make less than DevOps people. There's a lot of more graffiti, by the way, and a lot more murals. I'm walking past it because I've seen so much at this point living in New York that my eyes kind of glaze over a little bit unless I see something in a really fresh style, like an obviously fresh style. Since I'm not an expert or a connoisseur, I don't understand when something is really good because of certain subtle things or certain subtle indicators of high skill or things like that. I just see letter and color. Can't be a connoisseur of everything, nor should you try. It is bad policy to try to be a connoisseur of all things. Be a naive enjoyer of most things and a connoisseur of one or a small group of related things. Why? Because it is so. Don't worry about it. You spend too much time thinking about quote unquote why. The why is usually one of the least important questions to answer in a situation, if not the least important. While simultaneously usually being the hardest, the most impossible to answer. So you're putting maximum effort into answering something, trying to answer something that you have the smallest chance of finding a useful answer for. And that'll be the least useful to you if you do manage to succeed. Not good policy. Of that dog, so I'm gonna cross the street. It's probably fine, but he doesn't know me. He may decide to do a good job guarding his human's shop. This was a fairly serious accident. So far so good. It looks like there's a very solid chance that it's going to rain. In which case, I'm going to put on my rain jacket and continue the walk. That's really how simple it's going to play out. It'll make it a little difficult for me to go to my poker game tonight, but that's okay. I kind of got to put together my deck for the standard Bloomberg Store Championships tomorrow anyway. It's already not going to be a good deck as is. Just gonna have to put it together from whatever cards I have. Probably gonna be toxic mono black, because actually a playable mono black toxic deck or is off maybe a little splash of white. This Jawbone Duelist is so good in a toxic deck. It's a 1/1 white 1 with double strike and toxic 1. So if you got like Negligent Communion on that, which of course goes in a toxic deck, my opinion is like an obvious playset, then you know you can get 6 toxic in 1 turn. So and specifically on turn 3. So you can go Julius Skulldweller turn 1. Or if you have a Prosthetic Injector, you can go Prosthetic Injector turn 1. Then Jawbone Duelist turn 2. And then if they don't have an answer early, then they're just fucked, because you play the Negligent Communion turn 3. You put the Prosthetic Injector on the Jawbone Duelist, and you've just done 8 toxic. And at that point, it's like you got probably like 12 or more Proliferate cards in your deck that don't require you to have a creature on the board. So even if they remove or block or, you know, get board control, them putting creatures out just gives you targets for Whisperers of Dross or John and Iker. Yeah, so you know, there's a strong temptation to make it an Orzhov, but I might also just play mono black, because then at least you never get mana screwed in a major way. It's starting to rain like a lot all of a sudden. It's just decided that it's gonna be like really rainy for a minute. So I hope you're enjoying this. It's kind of a good weather for the area, I would say. It's the kind of weather that fits this scenery in front of us. I am going to need to stop for a second and put some of my card decks into a plastic bag that I have with me. So actually it is coming down quite hard, so I'm gonna chill for a brief minute and see if it just chills out at least a little bit, because I do want to keep filming, but also I don't want to get like 100% mega wet. Okay. I don't want to get 100% mega wet. That's my feeling in my vibe. And I hope you can understand that. And it's coming down actually quite so hard right now that it's wet. even in under this awning, like really wet under this awning still. And I got my boomerang. Here are these boxes that I also gotta stick in the plastic bag. And then additionally, I'm gonna put my wallet in there as well for certain reasons. Yeah. Okay. This is what happens when you don't check the weather forecast, which is fine. You know, you don't want to be checking the weather forecast when you're going on an adventure, really, in my opinion. But it does mean that sometimes you end up suffering. But that's fine. Suffering is a part of life. Trying to avoid it is just, you can't do it. You can only transmute suffering. You cannot escape it. Here we go. We've got sandwich de birria. We've got burritos, quesadilla, taco suave, which is a very appealing sounding dish. Not something that you see on many menus. You're not going to see taco suave on the menu at, let's say, a Soho Mexican restaurant, let's face it, or Chipotle either for that matter. Actually, I haven't even really seen it at too many bodegas, but maybe I just haven't been looking with my good eyes. We got the Golden Road trading sign. They're selling the bodysuits for children, it looks like. Toy bicycles. They've got shoes, little toy cars. You could probably get a knockoff toy Cybertruck from Golden Road Trading for like $60. Bo, 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 bo. It's definitely not really big summer anymore. So it's not a situation where if you get really, really wet, you're like, oh, that's great. Now I don't feel so hot. It's more just kind of like, I'm kind of chilly now. I want to eat soup and go home, you know, so that's the vibe. So my shoes are really wet right now. Not as wet as they could be, but still sloshy. And it's refreshing, I mean, to a degree, but it's also like, it's a little cold. But the thing is, with the shoes, at least, you know, I stopped worrying. I used to really just have this weird phobia or anxiety about getting my sneakers wet, because I was like, it'll ruin the sneakers somehow. I don't know what I thought would happen, but you know, the reality is it doesn't do anything of the sort whatsoever. Like, it has no negative effect on sneakers when they get wet. If anything, it just washes them. So my life became a lot better once I realized I didn't. Not only once I realized I didn't need to worry about that, but once I actually stopped worrying about it, you know, it's two very different things. So I also got the mesh top Adidas on right now, so the water is really like having a very easy time coming in, and it's a little rainy. And I'm basically just gonna pour them out from the tops when it gets dry again. If it gets dry again, I don't know, maybe it's supposed to rain for the next 4 hours. I'm probably gonna give it another 5-10 minutes over here and then just proceed, because well, let's face it, you can't wait forever for the clouds to pass. Sometimes you just have to power through, as the Slade Spire player might say. Dude, Slay the Spire 2 is coming in 2025, and I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I haven't H1'd even one of the Slay the Spire 1 characters, so I have to really hop to it. I mean, I've H1'd them without the heart, but I mean with the heart. I think it's the only way that really counts. You know, when I look at the Slay the Spire leaderboards, at the very top, there's boards like this seem absolutely impossible. And I've just always assumed that they're hacks, I guess. But I just realized maybe they're not, because maybe the only way I can see them being real is if there is a really significant multiplier for streaks. Which, you know, you get various bonuses for doing things like having a certain number of cards in your deck, or having multiple copies of a single card or non-starting card, or doing perfects against elites, or just killing elites and killing bosses and all the things, you know, that you see in the scoring screen at the end. But I've had like one streak one time, I think, so far, with the spiritual, the purple spiritual lady, I forget her name. There's the Hunter, the Defect, right, the Ironclad, and then I forget what the fourth one is called. It was free DLC, I think. But I don't remember if there was a multiplier, like scoring field in the, because maybe I just was, at the time I was so much more of a beginner than I am even now. That's what I'm paying attention to. Okay, my I don't know if you can see, I'm gonna show you this. It's funny because you can see the water is like, oh, it's not really happening as much anymore, but the water was like coming out of the tops of my shoes as I was bringing my foot down. There's less water now. Okay, all right, cool. So it looks like the rain has stopped for now, and we're just gonna keep walking. That actually ended faster than I thought it would. Of course, every chance we're gonna get another bout of heavy rain any minute, but you know, if it happens, it happens. We'll deal with it as it comes. By hiding, for example, like we just did. To the left, if you want to go to the industrial area, and here are some dishes that you could try. Here's rellenos, just like a stuffed pepper, mole, the brown sauce,
guacamole. I don't know what's in that, except I guess it starts with the brown sauce and then adds even more good stuff. Albondigas, I have no idea what that is. Looks like meatballs maybe, but in a unusual sauce. Burritos. Gotta try that. In Russia, we have, I wouldn't say burritos, but we have, actually, wait a minute, is it in Russia? Maybe in Russia we don't do this. We have the open-faced sandwiches in Russia. It's in America that you put the bread on top of the sandwich too. You crazy mavericks. Legacy of John McCain. I saw Dick Cheney came out, he said, I endorse Kamala Harris for president. Trump must never be allowed to hold power again. I mean, it's pretty good. 100% correct statement. Accurate. I always liked wily old Dick. Did not make me popular with my Democrat and left-wing friends in the 2000s. But I think even they were ready to acknowledge that he was the brains of the operation. I just don't think they thought that. I kind of think there's a man of some integrity, some sincerity. Okay, here there's like motor oil and gasoline. That's not something that I want to slop into my shoes as much as the water. Water, I don't mind. I just, listen, all I'm saying is I wish that there was just a little cart where I could get a cup of coffee. That's literally all I'm saying. Now I'm in the Maspeth Industrial Center. A lot of industrial activities happen here. Hire me as a tour guide. Check this out. A lot of people living down there. I gotta cross these tracks quick because I don't even know if the train stops here. It's just like nobody's walking down Flushing Avenue. Why would anybody do that? I love card games, man. It's like, I love them. Oh, of course, they can be really annoying, but, you know, that's true of everything. If I don't play some poker tonight at the game because I'm like too wet from the rain, then I guess I'll just stream tonight. I started doing streaming regularly-ish. I mean, it's too early to say whether I'm actually going to stick with it this time. I've tried it in the past and it hasn't stuck. Streaming is harder than YouTubing because you can't, you know, you just got to do it live. And you kind of need to be somewhat consistent about it, I think, for it to make sense. Otherwise, just do it as a YouTube channel. Which I think is also fine, but I just want to try to do the streaming thing And so there's no way through over here. This is exciting. What am I supposed to do? I guess I'm gonna turn around and then look for a way through. Okay. Fuck the left. SMH, bitch. Oh, suck my dick, bitch. Okay. A vigorous political discussion taking place at in this corner of Flushing Avenue. I like to see it. Citizens engaging with each other about the vital issues of the day. Here we go. Always surprised to see strong expressions of right-wing feeling in New York City. Just because, you know, you kind of assume New York City is like the most liberal place on the East Coast, at least, if not in all of America. Probably not in all of America, because America's a big place. But it is also the most diverse place on the continent, really. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think, I mean, it's not the biggest city, I know that. Like, Mexico City is much bigger. But Mexico is also Central America, first of all. So, New York actually, I think, is biggest in North America. I think it is bigger than Toronto, although not by a huge margin. Really want to go to Toronto and check it out and walk around there as well a lot, but I have some issues I gotta work out with being able to go to Canada. I should take care of that. Looks like they're building something, or this is a kind of unusually, West Coast type of view over here. You got some trees on hills in the distance. It makes you think more of like Berkeley or Los Angeles than New York. You see that sometimes in northern Brooklyn, is looking down Metropolitan Avenue from around the Metropolitan Avenue Armour stop. Once you go a few more blocks away from the river, you get the kind of vista. I think I just need to go back until I can go down into the gap. And I saw a pedestrian walkway there. But it's cool. I'm glad I went that way. We saw the graffiti and stuff, so also just show a little bit of this. Yeah, I like doing these as walks because even though it's not as efficient as combining it with my long runs, it is a little better for, giving a sense of the place. I go a little slower, show more small details that way. So maybe for you, I hope it is more interesting, but also for myself, for my own kind of record, or my own experience, it's more enjoyable as far as the exploration aspect. I like running also, so there's a trade-off. I'll probably still keep doing some of my videos as jogs. Just maybe, if an area is more I guess if the appeal is more vibey rather than detail oriented, like focus, like here it's all about like the signs, you know, what's in the shop windows, the specific cars that you see on streets, the people's outfits, all this kind of stuff, right? But so it makes sense to go slower. But if I'm in, I don't know, like just a more rural area, for example, where things are, the spectacle is on a larger scale, more zoomed out, there actually jogging might even be better fit, not just as good. Here I have commitment anxiety going down this way. I think maybe that's why I'm afraid of bridges, come to think of it. Similar kind of anxiety happening right now as I get on bridges. Not as extreme by any means, but I think it's a clue that that's part of what's happening. I just have that feeling of I can't change my mind. I can't go a different direction if I want. There's no opportunity to turn. And I guess maybe also my fear of dogs is connected to it or something, because I'm like, if I find some, or come across like a dog or something, it's harder to escape. I don't know, man. The mind is a mystery. Look at me asking about the why after my anti-why rant earlier. That'll teach you not to take anything I say too seriously if you haven't learned that lesson already. But I don't speak to persuade. I speak to entertain and provide company, good cheer to myself and to you, the listener, to feel less lonely. That's the thing, is if you're alone, you know, and you start talking to yourself, even though you're talking to yourself, you still somehow feel less lonely or less alone. They're not running from something scary. I mean, they're just going for a nice jog. No, maybe they are doing something scary. Like these cool roads. Or maybe not, I don't know. Okay, there's a whole ass staircase over here that I didn't realize was here that lets you go down sooner, faster. Should I go up? I'm gonna go up. Okay, there's a little tagging going on. Oh, other side of the train tracks. The literal and proverbial. Over here, okay, okay. I picked the right exit. Bright lights, big city over in that direction. just gonna continue down Flushing. Oh, I thought for a second that I wasn't recording anymore. I was like, oh no, the little red light. It's not flashing, but it was. All that. I got 15 minutes, 15% left in the battery. So, like 5 minutes, swap that out. This is cool. I've never walked down this stretch of Flushing Avenue before that I remember. If I have been here, it would have been like around 10 years ago when I was riding my scooter places. I had a job in Astoria, and sometimes I would ride my scooter back from work. I was living in Crown Heights, and I would sometimes go like the Greenpoint way, but other times I would go East Side way. But I don't think I did end up right around here ever. Let's see, I'm looking on my map and trying to be like, what's happening? So what did we just cross? We just crossed. Oh, I don't know. 59th Drive? Okay, I'm gonna walk until 61st Street. Actually, I'm gonna walk until I hit Grand Avenue, until I merge into Grand Avenue. Because once I do that, I'll be like, a little bit. Flushing Avenue actually ends for this Flushing Avenue, it looks like, unless it just becomes Grand Avenue, which is possible. I no longer see it on the map at that point. Looking on my Google Maps right now. So, and that's not enough. That's only like maybe a quarter of the way that I've already gone. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. This is a good walk. I have to say that every time I go on a walk, I'm always like, oh, this is a good walk. But that's because that's how I feel. That's the other thing, is how are you supposed to find out what you mean until you made some point out loud, and you can observe what it sounds like once it's out in the world, what it feels like, and then you say it, and certain other connected points, ramifications bubble up to the surface as a consequence of you actually verbalizing that first thought. So I don't think there's a way to arrive at an opinion, even if you're just arguing with yourself, purely in your head. You have to speak out loud. I think that's why, like Kant, for example, probably always just go for those long walks, because he was probably always talking to himself out loud. Maybe under his breath, but still out loud. It's crazy how back in the day, you know, before the internet, you would just end up having to interact with only the same, like, 26 people in your hamlet for your whole fucking life. Like, Jesus Christ. No wonder. Well, life expectancy wasn't that much lower. Actually, big, bright belts, wallets, bags. Please, just a coffee, please. Not a Dunkin' Donuts coffee, just a bodega coffee. That's all I want. Just a bodega regular, except regular in my case means no sugar. Everything else the same, but no sugar. Russo Bakery has the Crackus food. What? It's a place called Krakos? Is that a location in Poland? I'm mystified, man. Hello again, my battery ran out, so I put on a new one. And we're continuing up Flushing. The one in, well, kind of Brooklyn, kind of Queens. Part of it, a lot of it is in Brooklyn, but at this point, I think we might be in Queens, honestly. This bus goes to Red Hook? What? It's not what I expected to see. All right. Fresh Pond, baby. Fresh Pond Road. So one thing also to note is that it's Saturday, September 7th. It's already September 7th of 2024. Which is, summer has flown by. The whole year, honestly, has flown by, kind of. But also coming up on 2 years at Motion. September 19th was my start date, September 19th, 2022. So that's 2 years at a company is a bit of tenure. I'm looking forward to some more good years. It's amazing how far our product has come since I started. It's actually like night and day. Even when I started, it already felt like a useful and featureful product because we had the calendar auto scheduling, all the meetings booking, and we had a first version of project management. And we were able to get some small teams to sign up, but we were, just not even really seriously talking about going after enterprise customers. It was just like, we knew that the long-term focus needed to be B2B, and now we have so many more features and project management tool, and we've shipped some features that I don't think anybody else really has. Like the flows feature that we shipped recently, it's basically like workflow process templating. So if you have kind of a repeatable process that you apply to most of your clients, for example, if you have an agency, let's say you're a lawyer, or you're a graphic designer, or you're an architectural firm, or any one of a number of other businesses who do the same kind of things over and over again for different clients, of course with many specific details being different, then you can use our flow feature to build a kind of a template of your process one time, and then you can create projects from that template for your individual contracts without having, and so much of the work doesn't need to be, of creating project, managing project doesn't need to be repeated. So it becomes, it's like at once, it's like a tool to save you a lot of time and a lot of busy work, and also a way to document your own process and force you to think through your own process. And as a result, hopefully probably find some optimizations. Be able to onboard new employees much faster, get them up to speed on quote unquote how you do things around here. Yeah, so, and we have now many of the traditional enterprise features as well, like pivot tables in project management, allowing you to group, filter, and sort your projects and tasks by basically arbitrary combinations of parameters: assignee, duration, deadline, creator, start date, labels, statuses, custom fields. Yeah, we have custom fields of all different kinds. Links, numbers formatted in different ways, multi-person selects, single selects, just regular text fields, of course. And you could
create as many as you like in a workspace that you use to organize your projects, and then your tasks that live within your projects, and then you can create different ones inside a different workspace if you have multiple, different kinds of projects that you need to keep track of separately. So it's not just like, you're stuck with one set of things. You can compartmentalize easily. But you can also move things between projects if you need to, between workspaces if you need to as well. Anyway, I'm a fan. I don't know. I'm a fan of our software. I stand Motion. We're on Grand Street now. We're not even on Flushing Avenue anymore. We're just straight up on Grand Street. It's wild, man. I'm gonna go a couple more blocks and then I'm just gonna turn around and get back to where, Flushing ended and friggin' Grand began. They got the iced coffee over here. It's got deliciousness. It's got freshness. Yeah, I'll just go to like 70th Street and then I'll turn around. Is this Hamilton Parkway? No, Hamilton Place. Hamilton Parkway. That would just be wild and weird. It's a totally different part of the city. No seguro? No problema. Seguro must mean insurance. Problema must mean service. Got the nail spa, crunch, man. That's what it feels like when I push my neck back. Tech neck. That's what I got. Look at that. That looks good as hell. It's a whole pig. Vegans look away. Actually, vegetarians too, for that matter. Alright, okay. This is a good place, I think, to do a little U-turn right now. Because just kind of got to like a Long Island Expressway, big avenue. It's the Queens Midtown Expressway. And if we turn around here, we have kind of a natural restarting point if we do decide we want to continue down this avenue. Even though it's no longer Flushing in the future.
Not that there's a subway station here per se nearby that I saw. There's a bus. I don't really use buses. I don't really prefer buses, but they're an option. All right, here we go. Going to Berlin, not next week, not this coming week, but the week after that. And that's going to be nice for filming, I hope. Hopefully they won't make me throw away my batteries on the plane or anything like that, because I think my goal is to do at least, let's say, like 12 hours of filming every time that I'm there. Ideally more, of course. Ideally way more. But I will be traveling with my parents and I want to spend time with them. They won't want to go on these extra long walks with me necessarily. So I won't be filming for many, many hours every single day, I don't think. But I will film some days, many hours. I think generally when I travel to Europe, it tends to feel pretty quaint and provincial after living in New York. But Berlin is one of the bigger cities. Although, of course, it's not New York size. There's a big cemetery over here, and the geese are enjoying the nutrient-rich soil. I do wish I was dry. I am a little cold right now. what are you gonna do? What is the best? Okay, yeah, see, this is where we're talking about. There's Flushing Avenue and Grand Avenue. We've come to the point where Flushing Avenue merges into Grand Avenue, and the Grand Avenue is just goes bye-bye, or rather, Flushing Avenue goes bye-bye. So there's a party room available at this location. They've got the coconut shrimp, the black and my, beef quesadilla. Okay, it's good. Beer garden on Ocean. It's kind of a Mexican Brighton Beach. What I need is some dry socks, so I'm gonna buy some at this dollar store. I'll be back. All right, here we go. Got some dry socks that I can put on later, not now. And I got a Snickers. As you know, Snickers always satisfies. I'm actually going to turn the camera off again immediately in order to go and get myself a cup of coffee. So I'll see you back again shortly. All right, welcome back. This is Bobby again. I got my coffee, and we're going to go walk around this area of Maspeth. We're in right now. Yeah. It's got the Moon Palace shop. They got the Chinese food. So that's good. They got the funeral home for when you die. They got the nail salon. And they got the drugstore. So it's like, you know, you're healthy, you're young, you get your nails done, then you get older, you go to a drugstore, drugs don't work, you got the funeral home. They got you covered. Basically. Let's see. Is the Snickers gonna satisfy? Early indications are positive. Snickers is a nicely designed candy bar. Good balance of crunchy, crumbly, gooey, chewy. Goes really nice, pairs really nicely with coffee. I mean, sugar-free coffee. When you put the sugar in your coffee too, it's gonna be too sweet. But if you just got black coffee or coffee with milk, it's gonna go great with your Snickers. This is a situation where you're going to want to trust me, but you're also going to want to verify for yourself. I just look at Target. I just want to get... I did bring in a t-shirt. Actually, in case it rained. To have something dry to change into for the boat again. But I'm wearing my t-shirt, my ground a little wet. I put it in a plastic bag. But probably not. Chinese food to take out and eat in. Alright, so we're at Flushing in the 60th. And that's where we're at. So we're walking down 60th lane? Street, I think. I'll tell you a crazy story. I was walking down 60th. Came up on 59th. Sheesh. Ah, when the coffee hot. 59 and 60. Things are getting crazy. Wait. That was 59. I guess I'm on 60th lane. And this is 59th. What? Oh, okay. Sorry, this is 59th Road. That was 59th Ave. Am I tripping or is that 59 again? Okay, I feel like I'm caught in a time loop. The fuck, man? This one is 59 Drive. They're just trolling. Just straight cold. That's 61st to the left, so that's at least reassuring that some of the numbers change sometimes. I gotta do a walk up to Fort Lee, man. Again, like I did a run last summer from Hoboken to Fort Lee, but it was before I was doing the GoPro. In the ancient before times. It's crazy to think that I was going along while I walked without my GoPro. There's a motherfucking 60 over here. What? Bro. It's a nice motorcycle. It's a Yamaha Star. Yeah, 60th Avenue and 60th Lane intersection. Ladies and gentlemen, feast your eyes. If you like the number 60, you are in luck.
feel like hipsters live here. Got the Days sticker. Alright, we're at 60th and 60th. 60th and 60th. Once again. 60th road this time. 60th lane and 60th road. If the next intersection is 60th lane and 60th lane, I'm gonna flip my shit. Well, it's 60th something. Oh, it's 60th drive. Okay, I'm sorry, I stand corrected. I mean, I might still have to flip my shit a little bit. They did every name for a thoroughfare except for street. Okay, all right. So we got like commercial something over here at 61st. And then we got more residential over here. I'm actually gonna go down there, look at commercial, and I'm gonna pop back into the matrix of the residentials. Because I want to understand what street is that even, the bigger one. Never been here. These row houses with the sharp gables? The triangle things. Where is the money, Lebowski? Where is the money? The money is in show business, baby. Mega sandwich. Noble since 1994 on Fresh Pond. The hardware is Noble. Okay. Okay, all right. There's like just peaceful and lively enough over here with the Fresh Pond road. We got the laundromat, we got the Chinese takeout, safety town for your safety needs, safety garment needs. 2015, Ilya Zaremsky would have been shopping there for the high-vis bright neon yellow t-shirts when I had my highlighter era. Hard to believe that BobbyRunout's didn't always wear all black and white, but yes, there was a time when it was different. It's like those M&M pictures from before he was a nerd. I mean, before he was cool, sorry.
I like Eminem. I mean, listen, the reason he's good is because he's both a nerd and a rapper. Authentically. Or I don't know, maybe he's not a nerd, he's just an edgelord. Eminem's like one of those guys in martial art movies, martial art comedies, who does just like some incredibly impressive and skillful routine with like nunchucking two swords at the same time to intimidate his opponent, and then his opponent just shoots him dead. Although I don't know that anybody has ever really done that to Eminem in a rap beef per se, but somebody could. Poop-free zone. Would you rather not have to eat, but you still can if you want to? Or not have to pee or poop, but you still can if you want to? What if with the pooping and the peeing, it was like you couldn't anymore even if you wanted to? I want to be playing GTA on an infinite Saturday afternoon. It's nice to feel like I've found like what I'm going to devote my life to with card games, but I just still need to figure out how much they're going to make a living doing it. Obviously, I'm going to keep trying to get better at poker, but probably need to have some additional way of making money from card game world. Whether it's streaming or indie card game dev, or both those things are extremely chancy and extremely hard to make money at, but I guess, or like, professional CCG play. This is the most stable and reliable way to make money from it, is to work at it. Try to work at a CCG developer, but obviously that has downsides as well. You have to interact and collaborate and compromise with other people. I know that's not all downside. It's like a job. You have to be like 9 to 5. You know, who wants that? Nobody. Nobody wants that. Literally nobody wants to have a 9 to 5 job as like their ideal life scenario. Okay, we're not gonna block the driveway. I feel like I could get lost and I'd still be on like 60th and 59th. No matter what. I like the combination of things that they have on offer. Weddings and brick oven pizza. The two genders. I'm gonna take a picture. Nice. 60th and 60th again. Coming up on 60th and 60th. I like their perfume. They have nice perfume. I don't wear eau de cologne myself, but I appreciate well-chosen perfume. Man painted a whole, I mean, I assume it's a man, painted a whole ass finger on his car. God finger. I think that's a case where you're not assuming gender, because whoever did that is a man regardless of what they believe they are, or what they say they are, or what they look like. By definition. Like, that's part of doing something like that, is part of what it means to be a man. Like, boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Here we go, 60th and 60th, finally. I've been looking for this intersection for half an hour now. We're at 60th and 60th now. I think we gotta walk forward. I think 60th and 60th is that way. Or is it that way? No, I think it's forward. Thank you. See you, bud. Citizen surveillance program, masquerading as a public service. If everybody's riding a city bike, you now know where all those people are, even more so than if they're riding their own bikes. Those bikers tend to be left-leaning. '60th and 60th. I was right. 60th and 60th was this way. Oh, that's check it out. That's One World Trade right there. Rarely too far away from a view of One World Trade when you're above sea level in Queens or Brooklyn. Not that I know for a fact that we're currently above sea level. Would you rather be able to tell to within 3 feet how far above sea level you were at any given point, or be able to tell at a glance how many days it would be before somebody mowed the grass that you're looking at? I don't know, man. I'm bored. Give me a break. You got a better one? Drop it in the comments. Or if you got a strong opinion about that one. I don't know why anybody would. Okay, we are at 59th and 60th now, and if we go left, we might actually end up on 58th if we're not careful. I don't want to jump to any wild conclusions here, but it's possible. Would you rather be able to identify the font on any sign at a glance? Or would you rather be able to look at any roof, even from below, and immediately see what the view from that roof would be like? Ooh, look at this. This is a little wild and exotic little corner of Queens. Like a little... We're gonna come out on Venice Beach if we're not careful. If we close our eyes and blink too hard. You know, that little section of houses near Venice Beach that's like a secreted away little, you know, magical village. It's actually not, it's surprisingly not absolutely prohibitively expensive to get an apartment around there. It's expensive, for sure. But it's not like $8,000 for a one-bedroom apartment. You could rent something, if you're by yourself, for like $3,000, I think. The only reason to live in LA is if you want to, I guess, live in the most romantic and evocative city in the world. Maybe also the funnest. Whoosh. Sheesh. Just want to get to 68 and 68 before I wrap this video up. 59 and 60 over here, so we're going to take a left. I'm walking up these hills like I haven't seen the inside of a gym in a couple of years. Which, at the rate repairs are proceeding in my local fitness, Planet Fitness, might actually end up being the case. They closed the place like a month ago for renovation, and they put up a sign. I posted about this on Facebook, roasting them. They put up a sign saying, I live in Hoboken. They're like, you can go to this Jersey City one instead for now. And it's like, are you smoking crack? Do you think that it literally one single soul in the universe is going to go from Hoboken to another city to go to a Planet Fitness? The only reason people get a Planet Fitness membership is because there is one within 3 blocks of their pizza couch. It's absolutely no chance. They know it. They're just putting that shit up to reduce the cancellation rate. Not that you can probably cancel anyway without like going to the location where you signed up, which is conveniently closed for renovation until pending further notice. They don't even have a time estimate for when they're going to be done. Bro, it's tragic. But at the same time, I'm like, their whole business model, I guess, relies on this. But I'm like, if you need my $20 so bad, you know, okay. Thinking about signing up at the local Crunch, though, I guess. It just feels like a waste to pay like $50 a month or more than that for a gym. But right now, I guess I'm paying $20 a month for having no gym, so so there's that. God, everything's such a fucking scam in this godforsaken country. Basically, with a gym like Equinox or something, you're just paying. You're paying to be able to tell yourself that you're the kind of person who can afford to have a membership at Equinox. It's like mental illness. severe mental illness. Boom, boom, boom. Crunch is not equinox, but it's moving in that direction compared to like Planet Fitness or Blink. You like my song? Me neither. Ooh, I want to go. You see that in the distance? Those like mid-rise apartment buildings, like just at the farthest distance. That's where I want to go. I don't know where the fuck that is. I don't even know if it's possible to get there by land without crossing over a body of water. Yes. The nice thing about having very kind of narrow wardrobe constraints for yourself, like I only wear white and black, is that you can then go ham within those constraints and experiment a lot. Like there's so much room to experiment, like so much room to experiment, right, within only wearing white and black clothes. Like crazy amount of room. But you can still feel like you have some continuity to your look. Or not just feel, there can still be some continuity to your look. So I think that's just a nice way to have a balance between the continuity and variety, both in your own life and also in the way that in your public persona and your public image. I mean, I don't actually do this. I just wear the same black t-shirts over and over again. But in theory, I could, wear gimp suits, I could wear tuxedos, I could wear, you know, pirate flags, kilts. Gimp suit is the first thing that came to mind, though, isn't it? You little slut. Da, 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 da. Man, I don't envy anybody who has to deliver this package, a package in this insane matrix of 60x60. Like, how often must packages just get sent to the wrong address because the person who's sending the package put street instead of lane on it, right? I am totally lost. 100%. 60th and 61st. This tells me nothing. Oh, look. A street. Okay. Still lost, but just... I think that's Fresh Pond Road. With the yellow building. Yeah, I think so, yeah. Because with the bus, the big bus go... Maybe not. Oh, it is. It is. Look at that. I'm so good at calling it. Okay, Fresh Pond Road. I think if I go this way, I'll end up where I already have been. Fine by me. Shih Tzus, all 9 to 11 weeks old, super friendly with shots from our illegal puppy farm. Rehoming my fucking ass. Chunky bites. Ooh. I like the sound of that.